internet, social media, Facebook, YouTube, IG. What it do? It's your boy C-KEEZY, the HairNinja up in here. We out here. And man, I had a script for this, man, but I literally cannot find it. Fucking cat. So, we're gonna do it off the top. A Little Off the Top presents Love-Hate Series, Part 2. Let's get into this thing. The first series of this little mini-series, I talked about women being hurt and how they deal with that hurt going into, new relationships. And we talked about how that affected them, how it affected their partners, how it affected their views on the world. So this one is for us, for the men, for the fellas. We're gonna talk about something. And like I say, I'm not a therapist, I ain't a psychologist. I just see things in a different light, and I'm gonna give you my experiences and tell you what I went through. Where the camera at? Huh? There you go. Oh, so I'm gonna give you my experiences and let you know what I went through and how it affected me. Maybe you can relate, maybe you can, you can't. And if you don't, hey, it is what it is. So I'm gonna talk about men and the things that we've been through that a lot of women and a lot of people don't understand. All you hear is women calling men dogs. They dogs. You know, because of the things they do, especially when it comes to like the cheating, the flirting, the messing around. You know, just keeping it real. We here, we talking real. Keep it real. If I can find the damn camera. So when you brought up all your life as a child, being taught by your uncles, your daddy, your cousins, your brothers, your peers, you know what I'm saying? That the goal is to get more women. Get as many women as you can get. Did you get that? Did you tap that? Oh, my dude. Hell yeah, high five. You know what I'm saying? And in a way, that jades a person's mentality. Because as you grow, you start remembering what you went through as a youth. So when you deal with women, you think that it's kind of that game. You think that that's what you're supposed to do. Imagine being, I'm speaking from the heart. I don't know how this is in y'all communities, white, black. Those names don't even make sense, but, Jews, Hispanics. I don't know how it is in y'all communities, but in our community, my community growing up in the hood was you get props when you get with a chick and you get that thing. It's almost like it's your duty to get that booty. And it's just keeping it real. I'm just trying to you know what I mean? So the whole thing is when that's ingrained inside of you and that's what you feel is like what's appropriate for the situations that you encounter and the relationships that you end up getting involved in, it's so hard to break that. Just like you have a dog that's used to being outside. You bring him in the house, he acts like he's outside, even though he's in the house and it's something better. He still can't get past the programming of being an outside. My cats, man, these are crazy. He can't get past the fact that he was an outside dog. So now that he's inside, he still carries the ways that he harnessed when he was outside. If that makes sense to somebody. So it led me to talk about how I believe that in life, man, we get judged harshly. And nobody ever jumps to the root or tries to understand like the problem or try to even come up with a solution. It's always a judgment. It's always a put down, and I'm not making excuses for nobody because you held accountable for your own actions. I feel that. But you just got to understand, man, like if all you ever did in your life was fight, all my life I has to fight. If that's all you have to do, and that's what you was programmed to do, you're gonna always want to fight. It's gonna be deeply ingrained inside of you. No matter how much you try to deprogram that, you're gonna want to fight. You know, if you grew up in a situation where you always, I don't know, took vacations every year, you were just accustomed to this as a child, that's gonna stick with you, because that's how I became the way that I became. As a child, I always went on vacations every year, every year, every year. So that made me want to get out when I got older and keep doing that, because it was programmed in me. Versus where I had friends and family that didn't leave because they never really got out like that as a youth. You did? So programming. You get older, they still haven't went anywhere, but it ain't that they at fault. It's not a bad thing. They're comfortable, you know? But when you get programmed to be uncomfortable all the time, then you're kind of stuck in that rut. So in other words, if you always talk to bust down chicks and get as many numbers and as much ass as you can possibly get when you out there, then how do you just instantly switch that off once you get into a relationship? We know we want better, because we know that ain't what it do, but it's what we used to. And this is a story, you know, coming from me. This is something I've been through. You know, I've been through this. This has done something to my life. You know what I mean? So I'm keeping it 100 with you. Are you going to keep it 100 with yourself and admit these things so that you can go forward and move on to the next level of your life? Or are you going to sit back and hold that inside and stay the way that you were when you was what you was? Muhammad Ali said that a man that thinks the same at 40, or it might have been a man that thinks the same way that he thought at 60 that he did at 20, if he thought the same way that he did when he was in his 20s and he's 60, he wasted 40 years of his life. Sorry I had to get that out, but it's a confusing ass like riddle, but you got to really think about that. It's programming. And you got to get to a point where you got to decide that enough is enough and you want to change. And don't judge a cat that ever had like a situation where he was a super dog or this chick was a super bust down. You know, if she was a super mega thought, that ain't who she is today. To have known her means there's a new her. So you can't judge people for where they at right then and there. Like, you only can judge what you've seen. And you really don't have the right to judge that. But I say all that to say, man, we getting there. I'm starting to see this black men don't cheat thing. That thing kind of dope. That's inspiring. You know, and then when you grow up too, think about this. I talk to some of my white friends and they daddies ain't never teach them like bust down no chicks. That's the man thing to do. I know a lot of black men that didn't raise their kids to be like that either. But the majority, Afro-American, but the majority of black parents, because I was one, teach you to do that. Like, you're more of a man if you get that bad girl right there and you get her number. You're even more of a man if you get that thing to bust down that same day. And this is real. So what does that leave us? In an odd space, but a needed to be like space. People are coming to a point where they starting to recognize their actions, and hopefully they starting to be held accountable for themselves is what I feel like I'm starting to see. Because people are like doing these little videos. You know, I've always been an open book. So this ain't new to me. I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. You dig? So people are awakening right now. Like, they're starting to understand like it's more to this thing than what they thought it was. So with that being said, man, I ain't gonna hold you up. Thanks for spending some time with me, talking with me. Let me exchange my situations and my feelings. Check out my YouTube channel, C-KEEZY the HairNinja. I'll be at you soon. Shalom. Peace. Yeah.